Let's talk about the biggest developments in college football recruiting. Let's get into it. Of course, we have predictions. Nebraska quarterback prediction. The number 3 ranked quarterback in the 2027 class, Trey Taylor, is about to come off the board. He said he's ready to make his decision tomorrow on Thursday. He's at Carmel Catholic in Illinois, and right now, the predictions are rolling in for Nebraska. It's 6'3" and 190 pounds. Nothing's done yet, but his finalists are LSU, Michigan, Nebraska, and Texas A&M. And if the on-3 RPM is any indication, then tomorrow we should expect Nebraska to land a huge quarterback addition. Now, he's a 2027 quarterback. I know there's a couple of Raiolas on the roster that they got to get through, but eventually it'll be Trey Taylor's turn. All right, let's talk about a top tight end trending to Texas. The Longhorns are in the lead on the recruiting prediction machine for elite tight end Mark Bowman out of Modern Day. Now, Max Torres is the one that dropped the prediction, which is interesting because his perspective on this. He's an Oregon writer, so he has a dog in the fight because Oregon's recruiting Mark Bowman, but he is not predicting Bowman to the Ducks. He's predicting Bowman to be a Longhorn. Of course, this recruitment far from over. Of course, Oregon, USC, Georgia are some of the other players in this recruitment, but Texas sitting in a great spot for Mark Bowman. All right, LSU adds an elite DB, just like Mark Bowman was a reclassification from 27 to 26. So was elite cornerback Havon Finney, and on Monday night, he committed to LSU. LSU trying to hang on to this number 1 class. They had the number 1 class in America last year at this time. So we're not getting ahead of ourselves. We know what happened last year with Bryce Underwood and company, Decorrian Moore, and a few others. But this class that they're building right now is really strong. And 4-star corner Havon Finney is the latest to commit to the Tigers. All right, major offensive tackle trending to USC. First of all, who's hotter than USC this cycle? We've been following USC recruiting, and nobody has been as hot as the Trojans on the recruiting trail early in this 2026 cycle. And there's another massive prediction from Steve Wiltfong, and it comes from one of the best offensive tackles in America. Kenny Pepe is now being predicted to be a Trojan. Some thought the Miami Hurricanes were in the best shape to land him, but Steve Wiltfong of On3 is saying it's going to be USC. We'll have to keep an eye on it. We got predictions for another Cali recruit trending to the Oregon Ducks. This time it's 4-star edge Richard Wesley. He goes 6'4", 250 pounds, and he is really good. He is a top 10 player at his position, a top 50 overall prospect in the country, and he was an early classification. It wasn't exactly sure. Would he be a 2027 recruit? Would he be 2026? Well, he reclassified, and it is on. Everybody in the country is recruiting Richard Wesley, but our own Steve Wiltfong is now predicting him to be an Oregon Duck. We got a 5-star that made a big announcement. Brandon Arrington, the top cornerback in the country, is going to make his commitment on July 5th. And who's it going to be? Is it going to be Bama, Oregon, Penn State, Texas A&M, USC? Here's the thing with Brandon Arrington. Every time he takes a visit, he seems to love that visit. We always feel like whether he comes off an A&M visit, Bama, USC, hey, that team is the team that's out front because Arrington seemed to love it. Well, he's loved a bunch of these visits. Most recently, coming off that Oregon trip, he decided it's time to set a decision date. Like I said, July 5th. We will find out where Brandon Arrington is going. It will be a huge announcement. Speaking of huge announcements, did you see what happened on Wednesday afternoon? Big flip. Rivals.com flipped to On3. That's right. On3 has acquired Rivals. So let me know, who should we get on? Who's your favorite publisher from Rivals that you want to see on this channel talking recruiting? Let me know. Comment section below.